Any of you who are listening right now, if you're experiencing bullying by any means, stand up for yourself, speak out, say something to an authority, your parents, the teachers, whatever. But, you know, try and do something to make someone listen. And, you know, there was a time I recall I had a neighborhood bully, in fact. And I remember one day she was sitting behind me on the school bus, and she would hit me from behind, hit my head. And, you know, my little heart was racing, and I was scared. I had fear rushing through my veins. And I remember when we got to our stop, and I was getting off the bus, she was right behind me, and she literally pushed me off the bus, and I fell all the way down the stairs and onto the street. And I remember when I fell, I looked up to the bus driver as if to say, "Aren't you going to help me?" And I remember just being like stunned that this driver did absolutely nothing, said nothing, did nothing, and just kept like looking ahead. And I remember just, you know, feeling crushed, like I didn't have anyone to talk to. I had no one to help me out. And when I remember walking to my yard saying, you know, you'd better not come up on my yard because my dog will get you, or something like that. I don't know. Sure enough, she dropped her books. She was in the street at that point. She dropped her books and she was approaching my yard. And as she was approaching me, my dog came from around the house, and she saw him coming, running towards her. And immediately she went back to her books, and as she was bending down, picking up her books, stunned and shocked, to my dismay, I saw my dog run to her, and as she was bending down, he literally picked his leg up and he urinated on her back. I swear to God, I never forgot this as long as I lived. So, you know, I might not have had an adult stand up for me and do anything, but my dog was my hero. He came to my rescue, and I couldn't believe it. I've never forgotten that, and I'm sure she never forgot it either. But anyway, you guys, just, I don't know, speak out and talk to someone. And I pray that, you know, your bullying situation will come to an end. I have a few more questions that have come in from my Instagram account. And here we go. I'll put my eyes on. How did you meet? And do you still love him? And this question comes from Shellac94. Well, I met Michael actually auditioning for his video, The Way You Make Me Feel. And the first day that we met was on his birthday, in fact, August 29th, 1987. And it was actually the run-through for the video. And so that's how we met, and it was extremely exciting for me. And I remember taking a peek as I was doing the run-through. In between a little break, I took a peek and I looked in the corner to my right where Michael was sitting with a few people, and I saw him wearing a red shirt, and he was like bopping up and down to the music with a huge grin on his face. And that just brought such joy to my heart, and I was so excited. I mean, I thought I was going to jump out of my skin. It was one of the greatest days, and yeah, it was wonderful. So let's see, next question. What did you feel when he died? And this question comes from Susie, I want to get this right, Susie Beniest. Well, you know, I really don't want to rehash that day, if you don't mind, not completely, because it was a very hard day, and I would have to say one of the worst days of my life, in fact. next to losing my mother. I was stunned in shock, and I really felt as if I left my body somehow, and I felt like I was just floating on air, like I couldn't feel myself, and the world stopped. It really did. The world stopped. And I felt that way about music for about 5 years, and I couldn't listen to music, certainly not anything that was Michael Jackson, especially The Way You Make Me Feel. That was a song that I definitely didn't want to hear, and when it would come on, I would immediately turn it off. And if I happened to be somewhere like in a store or something and it came on, I would literally dart out of there. I couldn't deal with it. So it was extremely painful, and one of the worst days of my life. So that's the best way I can answer that, at least for today. What is my favorite thing to do? Yeah, going to the beach. That is my absolute favorite thing to do. I love going to the beach, especially Clearwater Beach. We have one of the most beautiful beaches. Yeah, going to the beach. That's my absolute favorite thing to do. I love it. I remember once reading an article, and it was an interview with Goldie Hawn, and she said something to the effect of her father telling her, if you ever get a big head, just go to the ocean and look up upon the ocean, and that'll remind you just how big the world is and how small you are. And I think that's a great reminder for anyone who is, I guess, big-headed or arrogant and thinks that the world and the sun sets on them. But yeah, that's one reason why I really love going to the ocean, because it's not just meditational and soothing and calming for the spirit, but it reminds me just how huge this world is and how I am such a small part of that. We all are, really. So anyway, I just want to say to each and every one of you, as always, God bless, have a wonderful day, and until next time, happy tea time.